Hi, my name is Heather and welcome to my channel. I have recently started a crochet business called Heather and Stitches, and today I'm going to be talking all about just getting started with crochet. If you've never done it before, or maybe if you have a little experience and just aren't sure what you're doing, today is all about gathering your supplies and just getting what you need to start your first project. So there are 4 things that I recommend you first start with. First is yarn. Second is your hook. Third is your scissors, which I'm assuming you already have. And fourth is your needles, just to hide the ends. So you really don't need a lot. First, we're going to talk about yarn. Yarn can be purchased online. You can purchase it in stores. There's a lot of different options for craft stores. You can go to Hobby Lobby, you can go to Joann's, you can go to Michael's. Walmart has yarn, Dollar Tree has yarn. There's a lot of local yarn shops. You can shop online, you can go to Amazon. There's hundreds of online yarn places. So for me, locally, I have a Hobby Lobby, I have Walmart, I have Dollar Tree, and I have a Joann's. Joann's is actually really small here, so I don't shop there very much. I've tried a couple times and I'm like, just not impressed with the quantity. However, I do love Karen's Simply Soft yarn, and they have that yarn. So if that is something that if you have a Joann's, I would recommend starting with that. That's what I used to work with a lot, but our selection again is really small, and so I don't really shop there. But I tend to go to Walmart or Hobby Lobby. It's up to you where you go. But there are lots of options, and I'm not going to tell you which one you have to do because it's your project. With yarn, I would recommend a light color or a bright color, or you could do a variegated color. Don't start with black or dark colors. Like I have a project I'm working on with dark purple right now, and I'm making a beanie. You need a lot of good lighting to see what you're doing. So I would not recommend starting with a dark color. You definitely want something bright and white or happy, like bright colors, light colors, variegated colors that are lighter would be good. You want to be able to see your stitches, and you're just learning, so you want to be able to see what you're doing. So please start with a bright or light color. Options are pretty much endless. There are so many color options. Aside from that, I have 2 recommendations as far as what material. Either cotton or acrylic would be my recommendation for getting started. Acrylic is just a good size yarn. This is from Walmart, but I don't know. This is what I started with, and so I just feel like it's a good size. You can see what you're doing. It's not hard to work with. Acrylic is a good option. The other option I would say is cotton. If you're going to make a dishcloth, you want cotton. You don't want acrylic for that. So cotton yarn is a good option. It's soft. It's still a good size. Like, it's not so small. You want size 4 yarn. And on every yarn label is what size the yarn is. So I'm pretty sure both of these are size 4. Yeah. It'll say, there's a little picture of a yarn skein, and it says size 4, and it'll say medium. And I'm pretty sure I know this is size 4, but I'm going to find it for you anyways. So size 4. So I would recommend starting with size 4 yarn, just because I feel like, again, it's a good size, and it's just easy to work with. Both of these skeins also have a recommendation for hook size, and so I'll get into that in the next section. First, I'm going to talk about what project I would recommend to start with. There are lots of different projects you can do. You can make amigurumi, you can make hats and scarves, and you can make blankets and dishcloths, and have you been on Pinterest? So what I would recommend for a very beginner starting out is something square or rectangle. So either a dishcloth, a scarf, or a blanket, or something that is that shape. When I first started, I tried to make a blanket, and that was my first project. I could post it up here. I used a variegated yarn that was from Walmart. It was a Red Heart size 4. It was really pretty, and I was very excited about it, and so I was happy with that because it kept me motivated. Like, I enjoyed that color scheme that I was working with, and you want to be able to find something you like, and so that's what I would recommend for your first project. If you're doing a dishcloth, I would recommend cotton yarn. If you're doing a scarf, cotton yarn would work, or acrylic, either one. Blankets, I would definitely recommend a bigger yarn, so you would want something more along the lines of acrylic. So yeah, acrylic or cotton would be my recommendation. After you have your yarn, the next thing you need is a hook. There are a lot of options for hooks, and I am not going to pretend to be an expert on any brands, because I honestly only use like what I would consider the most basic kind of hook, which are these. I'm sure you've seen these before. I have not explored hooks yet, mostly because I try not to spend money that I don't need to spend. And also, I just have a lot of hooks like this. And so there are a lot of options for hooks. Like, you could buy a little kit. I'm not recommending this right now, but someone gifted this to me a long time ago. And so I just have, it has like all the different sizes. These are all J hooks because that's what I've been teaching my kids with. And so I bought a bunch of those because I also just lose them a lot. There are lots of different size hooks. Some are plastic, like these are plastic, these are metal. This has a handle that's not, like, I think it's rubbery. I'm not even sure what material this is, but there's a lot of different options. This has a thicker handle. This is, so what do you need? You just need one hook. Depending on what yarn you're using, every skein of yarn has a label on it that tells you exactly what size hook you need. I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby, and this is Mainstays, which is a Walmart brand, and this is a Red Heart brand, and this is Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn. All of these recommend an I hook. What I would recommend when you're first starting out is even sizing up one hook, so maybe a J hook, which is what I've been using with my kids, because it just makes the stitches a little bit bigger, and I feel like that makes it just easier to see what you're doing. So with my kids, I've been teaching them with the J hook, and so if that's up to you. It's your project, and you can use either one. You can use an H hook. It really, if you already have a hook you already have, you could just use that. But I would recommend getting either what your yarn recommends or one size higher. Also, with hooks, there are more ergonomic ones. Like, this is just the most basic one, but there are some that have handles that, make it less, like, it's easier to work with or whatever. I've not explored all that, so I'm not going to tell you to get all those things. You can if you want. This is going to cost less. Sure you've seen these before, and I've been crocheting with this for years. So, anyways, that's up to you if you want to spend more on, different hooks. And some people eventually get wrist pain and different things after crocheting for a long time, and maybe the hook helps, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I haven't had that problem yet, but with your hooks, I would recommend metal. Don't get plastic, just because the metal goes through the yarn a lot smoother. And so that's my only real recommendation with, like, the hook. There are a couple different kinds of hooks. I don't think that's necessary to, like, discuss, but there's just different points and different things. But for basic, just starting out, it doesn't matter. You just need one hook that fits the yarn that you're getting. Again, recommending metal. So that's your hook. Third thing you need, scissors. And I'm assuming you have a pair in your house. However, there are some at the craft store. If you feel like you want to get scissors specific for working with your yarn, feel free. But it's not necessary. I think any pair of scissors would work just fine. Step 4 would be your needle. So at the end of your projects, you're going to have some ends to weave in. I recommend getting just basic needles. I like using this. This is the brand I buy. And you buy them at Walmart. They're less than $2. But you can go, like I said, to any craft store. They'll have needles for this. But I like this size for the acrylic yarn. It's a little bit thicker. And so I like having the big eye to hide my ends. And then, and the smaller size works really well with the cotton. You just need a basic needle that you can thread your yarn through, because you're going to have to hide the ends when you're done with your project. Those 4 things are all you need to get started. Your yarn, your hook, your scissors, and your needle. And that's it. Next week, I will show you how to get started. So I'll show you how to hold your hook, how to do a slip knot, how to do a couple basic stitches. And then you'll be able to do lots of different projects. But it does take time to learn. and you can do this. So if you are in it for the journey, I'm going to post several videos of just getting started, so feel free to subscribe and follow along. And if you're not following me on Facebook and Instagram, feel free to look me up there. And thanks for being here for this video, and I hope it was helpful. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!